For years, political pundits, rival candidates, and foreign leaders have exhausted themselves trying to identify the hidden strategy driving Donald Trump. Every unpredictable move sets off a scramble to figure out his master plan or the deep psychological game he must be playing. But the political biographers and ghostwriters who spend countless hours trying to map his inner workings hit a brick wall. When they try to unpack his internal monologue, they find a startling void. This creates massive confusion because we naturally project our own psychology onto public figures. We assume all leaders maintain a carefully constructed public face that hides a complex, calculating private self behind closed doors. But the writers who studied him closest discovered a severe anomaly. There is no private Donald Trump hiding behind the mask. The unyielding surface you see is entirely all there is. The political world consistently fails to understand him because they are endlessly analyzing a hidden life story and an intricate grand strategy that simply do not exist. Cognitive psychologists call this scaffolding a narrative identity. We weave our past, present, and future into a single cohesive storyline. Typical presidents rely heavily on this. George W. Bush internalized a prodigal son narrative, framing his life as youthful waywardness followed by dramatic personal redemption. Barack Obama authored a progressive arc, consciously viewing his life and presidency as a continuation of the civil rights movement's historical march towards justice. Donald Trump bypassed this developmental step entirely. He never authored a narrative identity to connect his past to his future. Without that internal story anchoring him, he doesn't reflect backward or plan far ahead. He exists exclusively in the present moment. He is the episodic man. His father, Fred Trump, was a ruthless real estate developer who brought young Donald along to collect rent, instructing his son to be a killer. He absorbed a hyper-vigilant Hobbesian worldview. His environment was a dangerous jungle where you must dominate the people around you or be destroyed. He articulated this philosophy perfectly in a 1981 interview, stating that man is a vicious animal, and life is nothing but a series of battles ending in victory or defeat. Because life is perpetual warfare, every encounter is an isolated, zero-sum fight, with zero connection to the battle before or after it. In this state of constant war, long-term plotting is a fatal distraction. Surviving and dominating the current episode is all that matters. This deeply ingrained episodic psychology moved directly into the White House, generating an operational style completely divorced from traditional political strategy. The result is a dynamic observers called the Snapchat presidency. Directives and policy directions are routinely issued in the heat of the moment, only to vanish entirely hours later without a trace or follow-up. This episodic isolation resolves the paradox of his constant contradictions. He can aggressively champion a position on Monday and take the exact opposite stance on Wednesday without feeling any internal friction. Monday's episode is simply over. Consequently, truth and morality do not function as fixed concepts. They operate strictly as tools. A statement is considered true or moral entirely based on how much utility it provides to help him win the immediate battle at hand. We have to stop analyzing his actions as an intricate game of four-dimensional chess. There is no grand, long-term strategy waiting to be decoded. To navigate this political era, we must abandon our deep-seated expectations of human narrative. We are simply watching a fighter surviving an endless, disconnected string of episodes,